Okay.
All right, guys. So welcome back to our team huddle. We are at our halfway mark for the challenge. Can you guys believe it? How are you guys doing in terms of your goal at the halfway mark?
Well, I've lost 9 pounds so far.
Yay!
Um,
And what was your goal?
Well, I'm 2 pounds, about just a little bit over 2 pounds away from 6%, but I wanted to lose more than that. So
well, for the challenge, you're only 2 pounds away.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Did you expect to be 2 pounds away in just the halfway mark?
Yes.
Good for you. Good for you. How's everybody else doing?
Did you say something? You broke up.
Yeah, how's everybody else doing in terms of, we're at the halfway mark. It's a great point to kind of reevaluate where are we in terms of our goals and where are we in our journey. So would anybody else like to share how they're doing in terms of their goal for the challenge?
I'm about 2.5 pounds away from my goal for the challenge.
Nice. Congratulations.
But
Yay.
I'm week three doing the Take Shape for Life.
Awesome.
And I've lost 12.5 pounds.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
And I don't want to put anybody on the spot. Please share if you feel comfortable. But I also would love to hear about the non-scale victories. This is the scale victories. As exciting as the scale victories are, the non-ones I think are oftentimes more exciting. And so, what is something that you would be willing to share with us? Nobody? Okay. Well, I also wanted to ask you guys, what was your favorite part of the challenge this week? What was your favorite reading or video or whatever? What was the best part so far this week for you that kind of caught your attention? Maybe change the way you look at things or do things, or anybody have any thoughts on that one?
I really liked today's reading about the carbs, the calculation of the net carbs, which to me was really eye-opening in terms of how I look at the labels at the supermarket when buying food.
Nice. I posted on our team wall that I loved the one about breathing, and I read it after the fact when I had a moment. I was like, oh, it's like my biggest pet peeve. I'm running late with packing twins in the car and rushing out the door, and I'm barely making it, and then I have zero gas, and you have to stop, and I'm like, really? It's like one of my biggest pet peeves. And as I was stopping for gas, I thought about it, and I was like, okay, you know what? I could choose to be aggravated, and I can choose to allow this to ruin my day, or I can choose to say, you know what? This is not the worst thing that can happen to me today. Guess what? If I'm 10 minutes late, I'm 10 minutes late. That just means I get to stop and smell the gas. Other people get to stop and smell the roses. I got to stop and smell the gas. Maybe the fumes got to me or something, but I had a good day. And then I read the information about breathing, and I thought, that's what did it. It was the deep breathing. It's amazing how it kind of, centers us, and it really helps kind of clean out the clutter in our brain. Would you agree? Yeah.
I definitely
have, like, a favorite that they want to share from this week?
Can you repeat that, please?
Anybody else have like a favorite highlight of the week in terms of what they read or watched or whatever? Everybody doing this challenge is doing their own challenge, right? There's no like a mandatory program that you have to follow. And yet we're all kind of under the philosophy of Take Shape for Life. The habits of health that you're reading about is all like through Take Shape for Life. That's kind of the core of what we do and what we believe and what we're trying to embrace. And what Take Shape for Life is about creating optimal health. And I loved this past week how they talked about the breathing in terms of the mental clarity, you know? And they talked about different aspects that weren't necessarily about our physical health. And I just love that because I don't believe that health is just about physical health. If you had to define optimal health, how would you define it?
I think feeling good,
Feeling good? Mm-hmm.
having a good energy level.
Okay, good. So having energy to do what you want?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's definitely good health. I actually, September, I think it was September 4th, was National Discover Your Optimal Health Day, and I actually spent a couple of hours at one of the public parks here in Orlando, and I interviewed people that were willing to be interviewed, and I asked them, what does optimal health mean to you? And I had people saying that it meant eating right, and optimal health meant exercising and being active. And other people said being healthy meant not taking any medications. Those are all good answers, right? Anybody else have any other thoughts in terms of what does optimal health mean? What are some of the tips that you have picked up through the readings and stuff in terms of healthy body? Okay, because yeah, obviously there's a big focus on the body. So what are some of the tips that you've picked up or that you have been implementing even in earning your points? What are some of the things that you've been doing to develop that healthy body?
Increasing my water has been a big thing for me.
Okay. And how has the challenge helped you kind of start practicing that?
I'm counting it more.
You're tracking it.
Yep.
Okay, good. Anybody else that has kind of picked up, not necessarily something that you learned that's brand spanking new, but that you're actually now doing in terms of healthy body?
I think the water is number one. It's easy to do, it's easy to track, but it was so easy to forget.
Yeah.
And not pay attention to.
There's something about having the accountability of earning a point and telling others about it that kind of makes us think a little bit more about it, doesn't it?
Yes, it really did.
Yeah, it's pretty powerful. So, you know, in terms of healthy body, you know, there's a lot of points that we can earn in taking care of our body. And we were talking about healthy mind just a little while ago in terms of the breathing. What are some of the things that you've been doing maybe lately in terms of healthy mind since you started the challenge?
I stop and
Trying to reduce stress.
Trying to reduce stress. What are some of the things that you're doing to try to reduce that?
Well, breathing was number one.
Yeah.
Looking to avoid.
Oh, I'm sorry, Pat.
Avoid things. Avoidance, trying to avoid the things that you know are going to cause stress. Find an alternative before you get there.
Okay, so maybe some foresight or like, what's the word I'm looking for? Thinking ahead?
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. That's a good one. Kind of recognizing where some speed bumps are going to be and detouring or kind of making adjustments so that you don't get stressed. That's a good idea. Tammy, were you going to say something in terms of healthy mind?
I think mine's been the whole stop and think before you do it.
The stop challenge cues?
I'm an emotional eater, so if I'm stressed, whatever looks good is what or sounds good, I'm going to go get. So I've had to test that this week.
Awesome. Awesome. And so we see that we're working on the healthy body and we're working on healthy mind. And, you know, through Take Shape for Life, we believe that optimal health is a sweet spot where three different areas intersect: healthy body, healthy mind, and healthy finances. And when I was going through the surveys that you guys all did this past week, I noticed that there was a lot of people that was saying they would love coaching in terms of healthy finances. And so I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about that. What is, first of all, what does healthy finances mean, and how does that affect your overall health? So let's start with that first. How do you think finances affect our overall health?
I think a lot, because if the finances are not good, they stress out you, your body, your mind, and your health goes downhill.
Yeah. So it's kind of like a cascade effect, right? When your finances are off, then it increases stress, and we know what effect the stress has on our body, right? So would you guys all agree that it does affect our health? Yeah.
Yeah.
And so,
Absolutely.
yeah. So how, the same way that there are steps that we can take to improve our body and our mind, what are some steps that you think we can take to improve our finances? I'm going to throw this out there. One of the things that was just mentioned in terms of water, something that's made it doable, because one thing that I found in coaching people is that most people know what they should do, no matter what it is, in terms of quitting smoking. I mean, do you know a smoker that does not know they should not smoke, right? Most of them know they should not smoke, and yet they smoke. Most of the people that struggle with their weight know that they shouldn't be eating certain things, and yet they eat certain things. I know that I speak that for myself, okay? Because when I'm stressed, I'm not thinking about what I should or should not be doing. And so, so we know what we should be doing, but we don't do it. But having accountability kind of really changes the dynamics, okay? So accountability is one thing. And so maybe finding an accountability partner to kind of talk to about your finances, whatever your current situation is, that might be something that would, kind of let them know what your goals are. Guess what? We kind of shared our goals the first week, and we made them public. And so that kind of increases our level of accountability. Another thing that was brought up just a little bit while ago was the idea of tracking. Just because we're tracking how much we're drinking, all of a sudden we're drinking more because we're becoming aware that we haven't been drinking enough, right? So in terms of healthy finances, tracking what you spend is another great way to kind of start developing the healthy finances. So, do any of you guys use any kind of software or apps or anything to track your finances?
No, I don't.
I don't either. I wondered if anybody had any suggestions on that one. But I was thinking that just as it's nice to kind of track our water and to track our things and to track, cross however it is that you're tracking it, you're tracking it. So developing some kind of system to track what you're spending without really dictating where it needs to go at first, just looking at it. What is it? Looking at it realistically. I actually was reading a study about people that use pedometers, okay? Just because they are aware of how much they're walking, all of a sudden they get creative in ways to increase their steps. So it's not that necessarily they're telling themselves, I have to walk 10,000 steps a day, but just because they have the pedometer and they look at it and they say, oh, look, I've walked 6,000 steps today. Tomorrow I'm going to try for 6,050. It's like the psychological game that we play with ourselves. And so just by tracking where your money goes, that definitely all of a sudden increases your awareness so that you're able to kind of decide a little bit more carefully where your money goes. Now, does anybody else have any other ideas on tips that you can apply in terms of healthy finances? Okay. Well, I want to congratulate everybody for making it this far. We are halfway through the challenge, and I hear that most people are right on track to reach their goal. And so keep doing what you're doing. You're doing fantastic. And I will see you back on the board. Does anybody have any questions before we wrap up? Nope. Okay. Well, you have a good night.
Thanks, Donni.
Thank you, Donni.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hi, Donnie. Thanks. I'm glad you're doing better today now.
Thank you.
I saw the posts.
Yeah.
It turned out okay.
All right. Bye-bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.